back. And we are on the moon still. So, let's see what happens. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning for this far longer than I care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have long discussions about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing we all agreed upon was that the people of Etheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they'd hop at the chance to visit, rather than wait for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look around at the Caratorium, but wait till you see what's waiting for you at the east end of the borough. Follow me. Alright. What do you got for me? We're going down. I will laugh. It was like, nope, we gotta go back up. Oh, we're in a good spot. Okay, cool. Just come back to it. I feel like I probably will lose this Good, you're here. Through this door is the greatest Inn's Veil. It is named as such because it's the veil that ends. It's the veil to end all veils. The most beautiful force you've ever seen. We understand the people of the Theris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain this way? Is there gonna be like a giant, greenhouse that we're going into? No, this isn't the greenhouse. It sort of is, it sort of isn't. This place is interesting. Really interesting. Okay, technically, yeah, this is a greenhouse. With a bunch of robotic rabbits that are gonna try and kill me. only assume we don't, at some point, wind up using this thing. We're watching it destroyed. It's the cleaners! So, what do you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant, simply sublime? Right you are. Our forest is made up of crystals and constructs, dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was very challenging, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person, let alone forests. Yeah, that tracks. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmosphere circulation system, this place produces air as clean as that you find in the forests of Paris. The fountain here behind us, powered by a rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort were spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could do with a stretch yourself. That's the spirit. I feel bored and relaxed simply watching it. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through this forest with someone from the Earth. Maybe? Yeah, sure. Will? Oh, you stole my clifford whiskers. Alright, here we go. Obviously, I feel like I'm going to flip people off. Get the weapons ready. I was thinking, Sapphire, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we first were created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiark, and theirs was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Heidelin gave us our first task: furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds so impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we started sooner. Who would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, and some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was a brief period where productivity came to a screeching halt. When the bizarre red satellite, sent up from wow. When that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Aetheris, Elegant Mischief, I think. They're technically referring to 1.0 Dalamud, which, if anyone watching goes and checks out Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn trailer, that's what they're talking about, which was the end of 1.0. Huh. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiark. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. The heck? I can't tell you how relieved we were when Heidelin informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Stay close. Say, do you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact that they're massive crystals and not trees. I'll give you a hint. It's the gold rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with the devices fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill the role similar to our sun, and do so better even. The sun, a similar celestial object in the great expanse, radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather, a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed. This forest is truly the greatest. Sure. Where are we going? Oh, that's my way. I'm only in the first quest and I'm comfortably tired. I don't like it. There was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsion systems that habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose, which is all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about present-day people of Theris. Why not go and visit Theris yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technologies and knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the result could be disastrous. Then, there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Heidelin. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with the world together, we beseeched her to find people on Aetheris we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. So I feel like Drew Lynch. Just like, yeah, I don't know if this is us doing what we're supposed to do, or because it's been manifested. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited. Hopefully Heidelin would find someone who would help us. Eventually, she did. And through her power, and though her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more sense. Oh god, I'm tired. Making more changes to the moon. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm beat. I've been up for 14 hours. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. Yeah, technically. I knew you would like the greatest Ensvale. I knew it. Thank you again for coming here. By the way, I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. Yes. There you are. I take it you already received the grand tour. Shame you missed it. Growing Way, I've been looking all over for you. Uh-oh. Oh, is this about the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long, so you all are more than welcome to continue looking around the borough. Come along, Growing Way. The bunnies are plotting! Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? They've spent 12,000 years preparing for this? With the appointed hour fast approaching, I am certain I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still, it remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There is another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you'll excuse me. It is clear now that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparing for the evacuation of Atheris is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust I'm not alone in my recitation. Alright, Kankri, what do you got for me? Did Morianje seem strange to you? more than usual. I mean, I know he has a chance for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go see if he's alright? Michelle and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. Where is he? How do I get to him? Without attracting unwanted attention. Wait, is this way? Okay, I think I see where he is. It's just very weird to me that... Is that a... No, it's not an aetheryte. Okay, just had to make sure. Even though it gives off aetheryte vibes. So I know it's Endwalker. Actually, I'll hold off on saying it because I have a feeling this is another one of those missions. Because there's been one in every zone now that I think about it. You had the girl. You had the kid. I feel like this is going to be another follow mission. Yep, it's another follow mission. We've had one in almost every zone we've been in. Uh, Actually, there's been two in this one. Well, technically, there's been two. Oh, screw it, I'll just follow you. Oh my god. He turned around at the right time. Problem is, I don't know when he's going to turn around. That's what I worry about. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Okay. It wasn't that bad. I thought this was going to be a lot longer.
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Livingway, I presume? 'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity. And Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life. I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Minfilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain, brokered by my hand, were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives, ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind,
All this
as does
time?
the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbrider,
Yeah.
who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today. Selfish wants born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning. One which must never again come to pass.
Hear, hear.
Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity? I am not alone in my discomfort, then. 'Tis surprising, though perhaps not. We Scions are wont to debate strategy at length, but are resolute and unwavering in execution. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before, and today.
What are they saying?
Oh my goodness.
Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all!
What?
No matter. We've got our plans.
That look seemed a little dubious. Not gonna lie. That just felt a little dubious. I was like, In truth, my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of my own. A plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May, I say, for there is no guarantee of success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone, that failure, should it come, would be mine alone to bear. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse thy amity. And so I ask, wouldst thou join in mine endeavor? Bum, 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 bum. These are some wild boots. Okay. Now let's see if I can, yeah, I figured. Alright, Ariana J, what else you got for me? I thank thee for accompanying me. 'Tis the simple plan in truth. We shall not be long away from Bestway's Barrow. Difficult decisions must need be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all in one mind in our desire to save the people of Aetheris. To make clear our resolve to the Lobrids, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require most singular ingredients. What does it mean? I haven't fought this thing, have I? What is it? Daphnia. Okay, get out here, Cobalt. We haven't played in a bit. Well, we have. What is this? I don't remember seeing this. I've been looking at this since the last cutscene. I'm just like, what is it? An abundance of spongy. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiark's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the Pneuma, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I wish to fashion. The magic requireth considerable concentration, however, might I prevail upon thee to stand watch while I perform the incantation. Jeez, Oriange has me doing both we're doing the stand guard and the follow in one go. That first round seemed too easy. Or not? There, 'tis done. A magicked ink. Every ounce as efficacious as that crafted by the Pneuma. Rare is the occasion, I love how my brain went down. Rare is the occasion I would conjure my own, but is nevertheless a most useful skill. The resulting product, admittedly, possesses no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of my own choosing, which I pray the Loporits will appreciate. Sapphire, Urianger, oh thank goodness, I thought you had been eaten, or had perhaps fallen into a crater. Your has been looking all over for you, Sapphire. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even. She was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Sapphire alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind, Urianger. But worry not, it just so happens we need your help with an errand. Delivering a package to the Watcher's Tower, from the Watcher's Tower to Bestway's Burrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Loporits, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. That's convenient, suspiciously convenient. Oh, good. I mean, yes, very good. Let us not keep you waiting then. She said she would be waiting for you in Greatest Innsvale, or somewhere thereabouts. I'm sure you'll find her soon enough. Worry not, Sapphire, I shan't be long. I can't wait to change out my shoes, because it looks weird. Literally just run out of the way because... Oh, Aether Current. I must have Aether Current. There's actually several Aether Currents I need to pick up. No, they're right here. Oh, Sapphire, we thought you would be away for far longer. Entire emergency? I said no such thing. Okay. So the Loporits were the ones who came up with it. But as you were here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Way and a companion of Growing Ways, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem is, however, is that he is determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Oh boy. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest? Or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? What's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here. Maybe he could enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Well, if it's really that important. You can try using these balls of moose flesh. Not to be confused with the other thing. Running Way's other notable feature is his incessant chatter, so you'll have no trouble finding him in a crowd. And when you do, try lobbing your balls at him. Crude, but it proves effective. He's here in Greatest Innsvale when last I saw him. Let's split up and find him. Oh boy. As long as I don't get attacked right here. This is gonna take a few, because he's gonna wake up and then he's gonna run. I already know it. I need my shoes back. Yes, I'm running away. I'm running away. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of mouse flesh? Moose flesh, mouse flesh, I don't know. I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days. Huh. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if we've got time to look into the final days when there's so much to do before the Great Voyage. It's true that Heidelin did impart to us some knowledge of the event, but I know as much as any other Loprit around here. Less, probably. I don't know what anyone would think. Okay. Now I understand the mischievous grin I was talking about earlier. Don't know why anyone would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they better hope I don't get my paws on them. Sorry I could be of more help, and if there's nothing else, I've work to do. And I'm off. This is turning into a delay tactic by the Loprits. I should have did it earlier. I could find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? Oh, I talked to him. So he knows no more than the others. Care to explain yourself, growing way? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. I'm afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Orianche? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but what did he say when he'll be returning? They had him go deliver a package. On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Livingway. Uh-oh. Between Growingway's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of other leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Orianche a hand. What? Now, hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful knowledge, including that pertaining to the final days. I don't believe you. Yeah, I'm like, I don't believe them. I'm beginning to grow tired of these games. Okay, that was weird. Oh, good lord. Oh, what to do, what to do. I promised Living Way I would help, but... No, I promised I'd help, so that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the East Wing. Follow me. Uh-huh. I suspect the Loporrits are up to something, but if there's ought to be learned in final days, I think it best we play along, for now at least. Let's go. I guarantee they have my need for a mission. The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I guess we'll have to go and find whoever has the key. Growing way, enough. If you've not else to tell us of the final days, you need only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourself not tell us that we must act quickly? Yes, we did, but the moon was to be the perfect paradise for the people of Aetheris, and we're running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We hoped you'd see the wonders we'd have to offer, but you found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so you others must be kept here. Ah, so that's Living Way's game. Run us in circles, and failing that, lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except Orianche. He understands what is at stake, what must be done. I fear you've misjudged us, Growing Way. Never have we ever decried the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Aetheris and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Aetheris will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe, and we'll finally get to see their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We can't. Oh boy, here we go. Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. Oh boy. If we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. Agreed. Let us reconvene where Argos awaits outside. Sure, leave me to fight them. Back to the entrance. I'm gonna remember where the teleporter is. Because I know I will not survive a drop like that. I was literally at the door. Good, you're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Oriange. Oh, they haven't even gotten there yet.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Atheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. 'Tis clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose.
Nomenclature? It's nomenclature.
There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Atheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing! We Loperids were born of Hydaelyn's love for Atheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us. Help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Atheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Puddingway.
Puddingway? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure. but one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words.
Okay, that's a stretch.
A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And living way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What doth it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but...
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee. Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Living Way's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind, if being the operative term.
You would do well to remember the name.
to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Atheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charlayan Forum, yes?
What? How did you know?
Very much like them.
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
Yeah. This literally feels like the halfway point of the story. And it probably actually is. I would need to look at the mission list, because I think I'm close to halfway. It was a relief to see Livingway was pleased with my gift of ink. To serve and serve well, though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what must needs be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty, even if it doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you. In all our fellow Sirens. When next I return to Atheris, I pray I find you in good health and good spirits. Now I need to come back and just get all of the Aether currents, because I probably only got like, what, 2, maybe 3? Let's see. Yeah. I got 2. The only place I'm completely attuned to is Garlemald. Because Labyrinthos I can't get to, Thavnir I can't get to, and I think I've explored all this, I just haven't picked everything up. Got it. With Loporrit's in Urianger's capable hands, we needn't worry about the affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. I was gonna say, like, how do I get there from here? Oh, we're going all the way back to... Yep. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone's getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat the temperate prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only of the contingent, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we have learned. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed. Though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, to Camp Broken Glass. Can I teleport there? I'm sure I can. Yep. It's crazy to think that this is the only part of Garlemald we'll see. I don't see us going anywhere else in Garlemald. I also feel like this is going to be a very long cutscene. Just a gut feeling. It's good to see you again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what became of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the Tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are, understandably, hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? No. Not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers to have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Euless is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphino and Alize's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. That's good to hear. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. Oh, good. For a mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as you experienced in Thavnir. Those who were trapped in there have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the beast tribes have received instructions in the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porixie affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after transfer of Tempered has been completed. Good to hear. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force, to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. Understandable. I believe that accounts for recent events here, so what if the moon and the Telefori? So we unintentionally unleashed the final days. The Telefori are now gone, aside from Xenos. Still around and kicking. The final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is still much we don't know. We do not know. The Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course. I will send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scions from their present duties, that they may return to Charlian. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scions, you'll be happy to hear that Mistress Krau, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldassian Annex and given into Tataru's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiark, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood, he has returned here to Garlemald. I have mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. If they found him, they will likely to tell if you're expecting a trail of destruction to follow, you won't find one. Admiral, but don't bother. Mayhap you're right. He's after me, mainly, that's why. And I suppose if anyone is to hunt him down, it must be you. Who else could even hope to bring low that monster? Pray, forget I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos and the 10th Legion, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounced the Crown Prince and condemned his role as the Empire's in the role of the Empire's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continue to serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Vitor Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Interesting. Fandaniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's not but his bloodlust to keep him company. Better that than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Charlian. I was expecting Fandaniel to be around a little longer than that. Like, I actually expected Fandaniel to be around to almost the very end. Okay. Well, this is a good place to end it. Get back to the Baldassian Annex now. Jeez, it's been a while since I've been here. It's so bright. Welcome back, Sapphire. We were terribly worried about you. Though it's plain I have caused my own fair share of worry. For that, I apologize. Hyland called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint, but desperate, and I knew that once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream barely remembered, my body flowing through the live stream toward Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted from ether. Exhausted of ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh, for it was in the moment I realized Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zod. With that, I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiac from being unleashed upon the world, I'm curious to know what else took place there on the moon. Oh geez, we gotta repeat the whole thing. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. This right here is going to be the full-on halfway point. Let me double check and make sure. What is this? Turning home. Nope, this is not. Well, no, this is not even the halfway point. This is like the 1/3 point. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all. We understand you've been quite busy. Will Urianger be joining us? No, he'll be up on the moon. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Sapphire can explain why better than I. So here's what happened with the Loporrites, and here's what Urianger is up to, and here's what happened on the moon. Final days, as befell Amarat. And we are to escape via the moon? What of the source and its reflections? I've no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amarat, the solution would be to alter the flow of aether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiark, sacrificing half the star's population in doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice cannot be repeated. Which leaves us to the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amaranites, what do they call them, Amorites, could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mar Lamentorum. There's so much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amoratines creations. Amoratines, there we go. Creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the form, then. Having worked with the Loporrites in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I have urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside, some sort of announcement. What's Father up to now? There's only one way to find out. Oh, that's not good. Them playing this music is not good.
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talopheroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The Endbearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
We're gonna get cast out, aren't we?
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Enchantment? Oh! That's right, none of them could speak of it. And now they can.
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself."
Wait, excuse me?
She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom.
Oh, so now
Much
that
like
we
Nunkref's
find out.
hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions, and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave. Thank you. I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the Moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures, and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
It's interesting that they're like, oh yeah, and here's what's gonna happen. We've hid this from you for your own good. It's like, why couldn't they just be outright and forthcoming? Krell tells me the Form made a rather momentous announcement. So there's to be a great exodus, is there? I'm reminded of my narrow escapes from the Isle of Val. The realization, the running, the mixture of relief and regret. Why me? I ask myself, why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? There is no use fretting over cosmic morality, or lack thereof. We're here, and we'll get through this together. And who knows, maybe my luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Oh, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. I was like, I feel there's a cutscene. Heidelin gonna come talk to me randomly. Meteors crashing to Earth. The first sign. Wonder if it's Graha. Yep. Oh, he is nervous? Oh, our boy is nervous.
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to... If you could spare a moment before bed. Thank you. I fear this may be the last quiet night we have to talk for quite some time. I am troubled of late. Unwarranted concerns, perhaps. I hope. Nevertheless, I feel compelled to share them with you. Though you have bested your enemies thus far, Xenos and even Zodiac, your victories have come at a considerable cost to yourself. No one is without their limits, and you are no exception. I worry the added weight of the final days will prove more than you can bear. It is surely too much for any one man.
That's why I share my burden.
But you needn't bear it alone. Let me share your burden.
See? I just
My, carrying capacity pales in comparison to yours, but I could still help. Shoulder the occasional satchel from your ever-growing mountain of, baggage. You have already done so much to help relieve me of mine own encumbrances. 'Tis only fair that I repay you in kind. Of course, it needn't be only troubles we share. Moments of joy may seem few and far between now, but there will come a time when we look back fondly on this journey. The inquiry at the Forum, our march through the snows of Garlemald, our impromptu dinner in this very room. All of it. And that is to say nothing of the journeys yet to come. To the ends of the world and beyond. But tomorrow will be no less busy than today, and I've kept you from your rest long enough. Sleep well, my friend.
Thank you, Graha. Sign.
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsebar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true? They brought back tempered Garlean soldiers.
Oh no.
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Who's this? Who? Oh no. Oh, I don't like this. Okay.
Another day, another commission of paramount importance. Well, what have we here? Hey, are you all right? Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more.
No, you saw it.
The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. Yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Oh, because it is, my friend, it is. Oh no. That does not seem good. Ah. Yeah, that doesn't seem good at all. Okay. Okay, well, with the tense music going, we're gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. I believe this video should be going up in December. Until then, be good to yourself, be good to others, and stay true to you. Laters!